The Orlando Magic took a huge leap last year, going from a team that didn't even make the playoffs to the number 5 seed and competing and going to a Game 7 in the first round of the playoffs, going from 34-48 to 47-35, plus 13 wins on the season. But the thing that killed them, their Achilles heel, was the three-point shooting. They shot 30% from three in the playoffs. So what do? They go out and get Tristan Silva and Kentavious Caldwell in the offseason. KCP is an elite 3-and-D guard. He's been a staple for that Denver Nuggets franchise that has been a contender for the last 2 years, of course, winning a championship a couple of years ago, averaging 10 points per game, 2.4 rebounds, 2.4 assists, and 1.3 steals per game, while shooting 46% from the field and 41% from three on about 4 attempts in 76 games played. They signed him to a 3-year, $66 million contract that is a pretty team-friendly deal, but also KCP gets himself a bag, but he's a winning player, and he's going to come in and help the spacing around Paolo, around Franz, be that much better. Jalen Suggs was better last year. Wendell Carter Jr. was good from three last year, so they continue to add the spacing around that. Now they get a guy that is a perennial 40% plus from three, as well as being a great point of attack defender to go with Jalen Suggs. So this backcourt is now elite on the defensive side of the ball. As they've said, the Magic have come out and said they are comfortable with running Jalen Suggs at point guard. They think he's a great option there. He averaged 12.6 points per game last year, 3 rebounds, 2.4 assists in 27 minutes a game. So just 27 minutes last year, and was still putting up really, really good numbers. He was much more efficient than he has been in the past, even shooting 40% from 3 on 5 attempts, including 47% shooting from the field. And in the playoffs, where he played about 33 minutes a game as that starting guard, he averaged 14.7 points per game, 5.1 rebounds, 3.3 assists, and 1.3 steals, and was just a winning type player. They should have won Game 7. They should have played the Celtics in the second round of the playoffs. Maybe they would put up a little bit more of a fight, but I think they got a steal in the late part of the teens in this draft class. On the bench, the only guy that shot 35% plus from three was Jonathan Isaac in the playoffs. So they go out, they get Tristan Silva, who averaged 16 points a game, 5 rebounds on 49% shooting from the field, 40% from three. I think he's going to come in and be an instant impact player for this team. He's a 3-level scorer that can really get it done from all over the court. That's a grown man move right there, and one. Stands at about 6'9" with a 6'10" wingspan, so he's not crazy long. But again, 6'9" is 6'9" at the end of the day. He can guard the 3 through the 5. He's, a good wingspan, not a great wingspan. I guess I was saying, he's not a great wingspan type of guy. He's definitely long at 6'9" with a 6'10" wingspan. But I think him and Jonathan Isaac are going to be a nice fire and ice combo off the bench, if that makes sense. As a great scorer, Jonathan Isaac, great defender. He really scores in every single way possible. You see getting the and one right there. Right here, he's just going to seal the guy off and get a nice layup. These are all highlights against Boise State in the NCAA tournament. Very quick release, as you see on his jumper right there. This one barely even touched his hands before he got it out, and it was straight chords. Really excited for Tristan Silva in Orlando. And then I think Paolo Banchero is destined to have a breakout year. They add 2 more guys that can shoot 40% from 3 around him to unclog the paint, and he already averaged 22.6 points per game to go with 7 boards and 5.4 assists last year. But in some of these highlights we're going to watch, the paint is just all clogged up, and they just needed to get better spacing. I mean, he's 6'10", 250 pounds, so he's a Mack truck going downhill. But if he has even more shooting to surround him, he becomes that much better. When he gets into the middle of the floor, that is when he really starts to cook. As you can see here, he knocks down the 3 ball, so you have to respect it a little bit. Only 34% from 3 last year, but hopefully we can get that going. Here in the pick and roll, I mean, if he gets the ball at the nail, it's pretty much over. He can go to either side, he can step back, he can get to the rim. It pretty much just get the ball out of bounds once he gets the ball there at the nail. Not even a contest, easy little floater there. Again, if he continues to develop this 3-point jumper, he's going to be looking even better. But I really like him when he gets into the middle of the floor. And then they made an adjustment last year that I really like that we're about to talk about. But once again, he gets the ball at the nail. Just go ahead and take it out of bounds. Here he's going to go right into Jared Allen and hit that little fadeaway. But look at how many people are in the paint. I mean, Jonathan Isaac, Wendell Carter, both within 3 feet of him. So space it out. All that area in the green circle right there is available. But Paolo, obviously, great downhill scorer. Here he just goes right through 2 defenders and dunks over Day'Ron Sharpe. At 6'10", 250 pounds, again, he is a Mack truck going downhill. Hold that, Day'Ron Sharpe, right in your mouth. Little Duke on Carolina crime in the league. And then right here for game over John Collins. Very underrated handle. I mean, little crossover move on LeBron there. Very, very strong as well, which allows him to be an elite finisher at the rim. Oh, and he's a pretty good athlete as well, getting that facial on Jalen Smith right there. Now, point Paulo. Jamal Mosley made an adjustment last year at one point where he would have Paulo play point guard and come off ball screens. And I love this because the entire other side of the court, it's a weak side ball screen. So everybody else is on the other side of the court. Paulo gets all of that area in the green circle to work with, and he just gets into a fall-away jumper. If he develops a fall-away jumper, look out. Here he gets into his little between cross and one on Precious Achiuwa. I'm all in on Paolo Banchero next year. I'm looking forward to it. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a break here. Make sure to like button, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button if you are enjoying today's video at any point. As you can see here, basically everybody that watches these videos is not subscribed to the channel. So if you could do us a favor, it'd mean a lot if you hit that subscribe button. And we're trying to hit about 200 likes on today's video. So with that being said, let's go ahead and continue on. Looking at the co-star here, yes, Franz had a Game 7 stinker, but I think he is still a great wingman for Paolo Banchero going forward. We won't talk about the 6-point explosion he had, too much. But he averaged almost 20 points a game with 5.3 rebounds, 3.7 assists, and 1.1 steal per game. But his shooting was kind of exposed in the playoffs. He wasn't even looking to shoot. Only shot 28% from 3 last year on 4.6 attempts per game. At 6'9", he is a pretty good slasher, good off-the-ball cutter as well with a 7-foot wingspan, so he's really long. But like I said, you don't even really have to respect his jump shot. He is 100% a slasher right now. He was even hesitant to shoot that, but hand down, man down. But in 2022, 2023, he shot 35% from 3, which makes it weird as to his fall off from the 3-point line. One thing he is really good at is that deceleration move, though. So Franz going forward, hopefully he can get that 3-point jump shot back. Now, they did re-sign some guys, and this is the last thing we'll talk about. Jonathan Isaac, people are saying he stole some money from the Magic, but at 5 years, $85 million, that's about $17 million a year. A little much for a bench player, but in only 16 minutes a game, he produced last year. Per 36 numbers are off the charts. Mo Wagner, they also bring back another guy that really produced, and that's a really good value contract right here at 2 years, $22 million a year. He averaged about 11 points per game, 4.3 rebounds, and 2 assists in just 18 minutes a game. So a guy that per 36 averaged over 20 and 10. And then Gary Harris, 7 points a game on 44% shooting from the field, 37% from 3. He will now become the backup 2 guard behind Kentavious Caldwell Pope. What other moves do you think they need to make, though? We talked about Wendell Carter Jr., who is very good alongside Paolo Banchero, I think. They got Cole Anthony also coming off the bench once again. Paolo getting to the middle of the court right there. But I like Wendell Carter Jr. a lot. He developed a pretty nice jump shot at this point into his career. So I think they're pretty set for next year and just continue to let this team develop. Y'all let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, though. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like button and hit that subscribe button if you did enjoy at any point. And with all that being said, thanks so much for watching today's video.